Cheldin, Barlatt, Rumer, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. We took a day off yesterday, Taquan. I mean, we didn't take a day off, but we weren't in the studio. Let's put it that way. We were not in the studio yesterday. You know how I'm a multitasking mama. I'm a multitasking mama, so I love to give the daily dose each and every day, so I ensured that I did it from my home office, home/studio. So we were able to do that yesterday. Thanks to all of you that tuned in anyway. I love you. The girls were just talking about how our engagement was pretty high yesterday, which was kind of nice. So it's nice to know that it doesn't always have to be such a formal situation for us to get together, that I can reach out to you wherever I am and for you guys to tune in. So thank you so much for that. I'm very, very appreciative. It is awesome to be back here in the studio, though, to get a little bit of rhythm. I love my Sydney Rachel, but truthfully, running around yesterday, getting snacks and everything else. For all of you that are in the daycare profession, for all you teachers out there, I applaud you. I do. Entertaining a 7-year-old all day long is a journey in and of itself. It just leads to spending money at Target, as well as a lot of unnecessary snacks. But it was a wonderful day. I do adore her. She's feeling much, much better today. So thank you to all of you that checked in on her. So wonderful that you join us each and every day at 10 a.m. Eastern as we broadcast live from the Nichols Building, One Nickel Co-working, right here in the heart of Main Street in Manayunk, right next door to Center City and right around the corner from Barlatt Kinwood. We are your daily dose of lifestyle news as we celebrate the entrepreneurial spirit, providing you with entertainment, trends, food, fashion, wellness, and much, much more. Taquan, how are you?
Great.
I know he misses me when he's not with me. I know. The quality of the program is definitely not as good, and I know that he's just cringing based on the lighting in my basement office. He's just like, oh, Cheldin, let's elevate this brand a bit. But I have to do what I got to do, Taquan. I gotta deliver the daily dose of lifestyle news, even if I can't be in the studio, even if you are disappointed, my friend. But either way, it was a good day yesterday. Everybody survived. Everybody was great. I had a number of amazing conference calls. Sherry, my girl, Lotus Wood Journey, I got a chance to speak to her today. We owe you a few things. We'll be in touch today for sure. Hello to everybody else that tuned in yesterday. We're so excited that you continue to tune in each and every day. And every day, we love to start with a reason to celebrate, right, Taquan? A reason to celebrate. Today is a modern day, only for those that know the importance of a smartphone. It is World Emoji Day. I don't know what to do today. Do I just send emojis? You know what I challenge all of you to do? To send emojis that you never use. Go deep. Go deep into the emoji space. Samantha, let's find some emojis that we would otherwise not use that are just slightly confusing. There's a couple emojis there that are just random, right? There's this weird masked man that is just a random scenario. There's a lot of random ones. So I challenge you to put a random emoji within the comments below. As random as you can possibly think without offending anyone. Put it in the comments below. Send it to your friend. Random Emoji Day. This World Emoji Day, let's try to dig deep into the emojis that we seldomly use. Right? Because we have that favorite list that's in the front, but there are some ones that you would never think about using at all. Right? The ones that you would throw people off, the ones that have collected dust in the back of the list, whether or not you want to share a flag of a country you have never visited, or whether or not you want to share a particular icon of something that you wish you had. Let's share an emoji that you seldomly use. Why don't we do that? Why don't we dig that deep and see what we can kind of come up with? Taquan, I can only imagine what our conversations online are going to be like today, but we're going to be able to celebrate World Emoji Day. So hopefully for all of you that have smartphones out there, celebrate the best way you can. Again, it's International or World Emoji Day. Let's try to use the emojis that we seldomly use in order to have some really nice, wonderful conversations. In addition to giving you a reason to celebrate, I hope you celebrate World Emoji Day, we love to start each and every morning with a morning message. This one I think is short but lovely. A problem is a chance for you to do your best. Isn't that the truth? I mean, I'm living in that right now. A problem is a chance for you to do your best. In a lot of cases, when a problem comes your way, you can abandon ship. And sometimes it feels as if that's the only option that you have. I'm just going to give up. We were talking about a number of different things and being in something way too deep and going, way too far and being able to say, I'm going to keep going through the problem. I'm going to keep marching through the issue. As opposed to looking at it and surrendering, this is an opportunity for you to do your best. This is an opportunity for you to exceed your own expectations. Jump the hurdle, I like to say. I tease. I asked the folks in the office to do something, and they asked me the same question back, and I'm like, jump the hurdle. There's a problem, right? How are you going to get over it? If I wasn't around, how would you get under it? How would you be able to navigate that? This is an opportunity for you to do your best. Problems arise so you can be challenged, so you can show up. All of us can go through the motions every single day, show up in the same exact way. We show up at 9-ish in order to produce the show by 10 o'clock, and we do the same show over and over and over again. But because we are full of a bunch of creative souls within this office, we constantly challenge ourselves to make the show better. By challenging ourselves, we often bring about problems. We often bring about issues that we have to solve, things that we could have otherwise avoided by doing things the same exact way. But those problems afford for us to be better, afford for us to get closer to being our best. Without those problems, we would just survive. We would just be complacent. We would just be okay being okay. But because we now address these problems, step up to the problems, and are forced to become better because of these problems, we have the opportunity to be our best. I work with the best. Jaquan, Kaylin, Samantha, and everybody else in between that chooses to tolerate the madness that is This Is It TV on a daily basis. And with this show, with everything that we're growing, there's going to be problems. With your small business, with your entrepreneurial journey, there are going to be problems. How do you address these problems? How honest and authentic are you within those problems? How do you identify what you know and what you don't know within those problems? And through all of that, how can you be your best? That is our challenge for you today. Address the problem and see how that problem can make you your best. I think that that's a pretty good one, Taquan. I feel pretty good about that. And then as inspiration has it, oh my gosh, I mean, I'm addicted to our next guest. I mean, it's one of those scenarios, Taquan. And the truth of the matter is, it's not a problem to have this woman on the show at all. Nikita is my girl. I mean, permission to pause is something that if I got a tattoo, it would be tattooed on my wrist in order to remind me of these wonderful words that this woman always strings together to be able to pull things right to where they need to be. If you need to be inspired, today is the day. You are lucky that you are tuning in to This Is It TV. We are going to take a brief break and reintroduce you, as we love to do monthly, to our dear, dear friend, Nikita. So stay with us for more This Is It TV with Cheldin, Barlatt, Rumer. We'll be back after these brief messages.
Introducing Mainstream. We deliver blowouts, haircuts, makeup, manicures, massage, and more directly to your location at the tap of an app. You can also use Mainstream to book appointments at participating salons and spas. When you book with Mainstream, you have the freedom to browse your area to find the provider that fits your style and budget. Mainstream saves you precious time and money to focus on what matters most. Download Mainstream today and receive $20 off with the promo code MAINSTREAM20.
Here. Hello, everyone. I'm Cheldin, Barlatt, Rumer, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. I told you, Taquan, when are we going to start filming these breaks? Sometimes the breaks are better than the show. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes the breaks are better than the show. I apologize to all of you, but sometimes they are. We have to do some behind the scenes, but in front of the scenes is my girl. Nikita, talk to me. And so it was funny. I came in this morning and I have a lot on my mind and therefore wearing a lot on my shoulders. being really honest and transparent, not only with myself, but with the This Is It TV family, trying to figure out how to take this to the next level, right? Trying to figure out, you know, how I'm going to balance it all, especially on the heels of yesterday, where my daughter was sick. I wasn't going to be able to come into the studio, needed to figure out how to pivot and say, okay, we're going to do a show anyway, but how are we going to be able to do it in a way that makes some sense? I get overwhelmed in the space. I'm going to steal, Nikita, from all of you right now. I get overwhelmed in the space of the balance, right? In the balance. And one of the things that you've always said, and I mentioned it in the first half of the show, was the permission to pause. And I think that in theory, that makes a lot of sense. But in action, there's a little bit of guilt when you pause.
Oh,
do you find that?
Yeah, absolutely. If you are someone who has a giving heart and you love as hard as we do, and we talked about that before break. When you love hard, you fight hard, and you also, you kind of pull away from the resistance, right? Like you resist the resistance, if I can say that.
No, absolutely.
And a lot of that resistance is, do I deserve a break?
Do I deserve
Aren't I supposed to keep going and going and going? And the reality is, this burn zone that we get in when we're like uber productive feels so good because we're ambitious people. As women and young men that are coming up in this world, you almost have to be ambitious and be about your business, which you clearly are. With that said, when you're in the zone of the flow, if you keep going, kind of think of it as a two-ended burning candle. You're burning, you're going, things are being produced, money's being made, people are being impacted, lives are being saved, babies are being saved, you know, all these things are happening, but the ends of those candles are burning out if you don't pause, refuel yourself, which could be 10 minutes, sometimes 90 minutes, sometimes 4 days or 4 weeks, depending on what the situation is. If you don't do that to give it some time to cool off those ends before you light them again, then you're going to burn out and extinguish, and you'll be sitting on the 10 years ago Nikita's couch, who was a therapist, you know, and having you deal with some rooted dysfunction stuff of why do you keep doing that?
Why do you keep doing
so
it?
So that part of the guilt gets replaced with the reality of, I'm not taking a break because I don't love you, or because I don't love my work, and because I don't want to come to work. I'm coming to break because I need this to cool things off from those ends, that when I'm in the flow, I'm in the flow. Allow me to get some more extension out of that wick that's in between that candle. So when I come back, I'm coming back harder and better than I've ever been before. Which might literally be after 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, especially when you got little people. But you have two beautiful little people, but they still little people. Draining and pulling and being dirty. As babies are.
I love it. But it's the truth, right? But what about those people? What about the people that are in your world? You know, whether it be babies, or whether it be just, you know, spouses, or whether it be just employees, or whether it be just anyone in your life, right? Where you're going through the obligations that you have for those particular people, right? You don't want to let them down by pausing. How do you jump the hurdle on that space?
Actually, I do let them down by pausing, but I do. So my daughter teases. She's 17. She teases me and always says, "Your favorite word is no." Which it is today. It wasn't 7 or 5 years ago. My favorite word was yes. How can it? Because that's how we're raised, right? Especially coming from a corporate environment or a clinical environment, is you say yes and figure it out along the way. That's how you do it. What I learned was all of those yeses were unappreciated. I felt resentful after some of those yeses, and how horrible is it for you to do something great and amazing and regret it? Like, that is the most draining feeling in the world, to know that you just did something phenomenal, but you don't feel filled by it, and in fact you feel like someone pushed a little hole in the bottom of your cup and poured everything out, and they didn't even thank you for it after the, you know,
all of that,
So what I started to do was get more powerful and more strong with the B word, which is the boundaries. Like, I just got more powerful with it and started saying, well, what are my boundaries good for? My boundaries aren't just about keeping people out. It's about keeping me in so that I can be full. Like,
it's not about keeping people out, it's about keeping you in.
It is. And it does wonders. So my no, when I tell I'm the oldest of 5, so I always have siblings needing or wanting something awesome. So when they say, oh, you know, my family calls me Key or Bunny. I need you to do, no, I'm not available for that. Oh, can you come? No, Would you like me to send you a gift? Would you like me to send you a Cash App? Would you like some other way that I can be a part of it? Or sometimes it's just a blanket no. But the reason for that is because when I do show up at that event, that party, that baby shower, to sit in a NICU with my nephew for 6 hours and read, I want to be completely present and not feel like I'm being overextended, or to be in that precious moment with a baby or a person or a human or my husband to spend that love time thinking, oh, I gotta plan the groceries, I gotta cook this, I gotta take this one to the doctor. Did I do that gynecological appointment? Like, I don't want that in my headspace while I'm and that's what happens when we're constantly saying yes. So my guilt gets removed by the reality that I make me better and you better by telling you no. My no is for both of us.
My no is for both. Samantha, share that. My no is for both of them, because it's the truth, right? It's about having that be you be in a space where you're being honest. Yes. And you're really just basically saying, you know, I'm doing this for everyone else in my life so I can give you the best. Now, how do you begin that process? Because again, this is all great in theory, right? You're like, okay, permission to pause. So people just like turn off their cars, getting out. Right, I'm done.
Not on the highway.
I am finished. I am finished. I'm not calling anybody back today. Is it that abrupt, or is it a situation, am I warning people? Like, how do you suggest you go about, and I'm sure it's different for everybody, but how do you suggest you go about it?
This is funny that we're having this conversation. So this morning I did a strategy session with one of my high-level executives that runs a micro business in a larger corporation, like when you have your own division that you're completely responsible for. Wow. And one of the challenges that she has is with her team, just pulling, demanding. So the reality is we put a plan in place and said, so Thursday morning, because it's Tuesday, gives you 24 hours to kind of get your head wrapped around it, strategize things out, put some things in place. Thursday morning in your morning huddle, which I know you love.
I love.
And they do like a 5-minute huddle because they have a customer facing business. In your morning huddle, I want you to say, hi, it's happy Thursday, sit down, we're about to face the new normal. It's just that blanket.
I love that.
The new normal. It's not egregious. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to come in all stern.
See me taking notes? Like, morning huddle.
You just introduce it. Kind of like with our kids when we're like, and not to compare by any means employees to kids at all. Right. But when you think about it, although sometimes you feel that way, right? Please. But on some levels, when you think about it, with your little people, the people that you care for, nieces, nephews included, if they are doing something over and over and over again that's putting them closer to harm, like they're getting, when they ride their bike, they're getting closer and closer to riding into the street. You don't say, well, how do I gradually get them to not do that anymore? You're like, Sydney, you know, like you're pulling her in, and you do it as aggressive as you can for the moment to get her to understand the point if it became that dangerous. Got it. But if you have a little bit more wiggle room, you can say, Sydney, with that mama look. This is what we're not going to do. We're not, you know, and, and we say it with a smile and make her feel safe and encouraged, and you do that, and you do the same thing with the people in your life. What my husband is demanding something from me that I really just don't feel like I have the energy capacity to give, and it may not have nothing to do with resources or money or anything. It's just my energy. I have to woman up. In my case, because I'm a woman, or a man up in your case, or whatever the, you know, whatever the situation is, I have to woman up and say, you know what, I would really like to do that for you, but I can't do that right now. Give me 10 minutes. Give me 2 days. Give me next week. Whatever, you know, whatever those boundaries are. Again, those boundaries. And you literally just put it out with your heart, trusting that they will receive it with the way that you intended it. But if you wait until you're going to explode because the candle is, of course you're going to come off mean and aggressive and volatile, and they're going to buck up against your new normal as of, oh, Cheldin, you changing. Instead of seeing the evolution.
So just like everything else, just, you know, being able to temper it, being able to ease into it in a way that's comfortable, not to be, you know, be abrasive when abrasive is necessary based on the severity of the situation. So if you have to cut ties now because, you know, you're close to the edge or close to the street, you know, then that's what you need to do. But if you have that lead time to say, okay, we're going to readjust, reestablish, be able to figure that out, I think that that's important as well.
It is. And looking at worst case scenarios, right? Like, what's the worst case, and I say this not to you but to the world. For sure. Think of what is the worst thing that will happen if I have to say no, not now, or later to this person in this situation, whatever that situation is. What's the worst thing that'll happen? Will you lose your marriage? Will you lose your house? Will you lose your business? Will you lose your best employees? Like, these are worst case scenarios in those situations. And think about what are the things that need to go up. If you process that out, it doesn't raise your anxiety. It helps you prepare for, well, how do I not have that happen?
How do I not?
So how do I give the no without making him say, oh, you going to tell me no to my dinner tonight? Then I'm leaving. Well, that's a whole different situation.
Right, true. We'll talk about that after the break. I'm just kidding. Right. No, but seriously.
But with all that said, you kind of process, well, you know what the reality is, if I tell my husband no, my spouse no, my employee no, you cannot take off this Friday afternoon because we really need, if I say no to that, with whatever parameters I need to put in place to help them understand the why I'm saying no in a non-aggressive way, then the reality is they're not going to leave me. They're not going to quit. They're not, you know, like you can kind of combat your own fear of this extraordinary thing you've blown up in your head about all the things that might happen if you put some boundaries around it.
Yes.
I'm going on vacation for 4 weeks.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
For 4 whole weeks. 4 whole
weeks?
Praise God.
That's a month.
That is a month.
Okay.
And every year we try to do somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks, but this is a really busy year.
You are living a European lifestyle.
You would think, but this is how I break it up.
I love that.
So I do this because I give a lot.
Yes,
I give a lot to everyone
Your
around me.
business is to give.
To give, and I love it. But in order for me to give from an authentic space without regret, I have to make sure that I feel up. So my husband's not taking off for the whole 4 weeks. Hallelujah, praise God for that. So that allows us to have some great bonding time for the time he's with me, and then I get some self-care, selfish time for me, and some time for the family and all that kind of good stuff. But in the midst of that, I also do a lot of reflecting inside the business. What do I need to let go? Programs, Dreamer's Blueprint. The last time I was here, we talked about that.
Yes.
I don't like it. I don't want to do it anymore. So I realized, when you start things,
but you have to do it in order to understand it.
It's another new boundary, though. It's a boundary with Nikita saying, you've been working on this thing for 2+ years. And then you started and you're going to say you don't want to do it anymore?
Right.
And I realized that because I seeded it 2 years ago but didn't implement it 2 years ago, I've evolved past it.
Right.
So me doing it right now would be doing it to please who?
You.
My old expectation of myself, which is not helping me thrive. That would be a survival technique that I had to use growing up. You got to survive. Well, I'm past just surviving life anymore. It's about thriving in life and love and in business and creating my joy. And in order for me to do that for other people, I have to do it with me. So I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm going to have appropriate conversations. I don't like it.
I can't.
I have clients who are paying for it. We're going to finish up and do what we need to do for them. But no one's allowed in. We're not accepting anyone. We're minimizing, we're doing all that so I can just clean slate it.
I love it. But that's a mature conversation that you're having with yourself, giving yourself the permission to pause, giving yourself the ability to create your own boundaries, giving yourself the ability to say no to you.
Exactly.
Which I think is amazing.
It is. And honestly, if I didn't take that time once a year for me to really do that, and I made that decision before that time starts next week.
Right.
But I did that because I was like, I have things that are weighing me down, and I don't like being heavy. Like, I have enough curves on my own. I don't need any help. So I don't want to feel heavy. You know what I mean? Like, I want to feel joyful in things. And I realized that was something I was like, it's not bringing me joy.
It's not bringing me joy.
And if I'm not feeling joyful from it, then I'm not being my best self in it. And that's the other reason you say no or not now, because you're going to do it. My husband always teases and says, I can tell when you didn't make my food with love. And he can tell.
Yeah.
He was like, I can taste it. It's too salty, not salty enough, whatever the case. I can tell when you were pissed at somebody and you went and cooked my food.
Right.
And I don't want that to show up in my work or in my conversations with friends, that I'm coming to listen and share, but I'm coming with all this stuff because I didn't put boundaries around myself.
I didn't put boundaries. I mean, every time this woman comes to the show, it's just like, I'm like, okay, so tell me what's going on. I love her. And I think it's necessary. And it's the most simplistic things, right, Taquan? It's the most simplistic things, boundaries, saying no, but you need to hear it. You need to hear it and really begin to take it in to understand the magnitude that it can make in your life. So if people, selfishly, I hesitate in sharing her information with all of you because I love her so much. But if people want to get in touch with you, if they want to follow, fan, and like you, if they want to gain all of this knowledge on how to create boundaries in their life and be more mindful, how would they get that information?
I would say the first thing to do is to follow the podcast, Balance Boldly for Ambitious ambitious women and a few brave men, hashtag Taquan.
Yes. I love
Follow the podcast everywhere, iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, we're everywhere. And I'm at Balance Boldly on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. That's the best way to just begin a relationship with me, you know, even though it's virtual. If you want to go further and you're ready to get more clarity on some things, then go to thigpro.com and just follow the process to contact us, and someone will get back in touch with you.
I love that. Samantha, you're going to share all that for me? I mean, she's just absolutely wonderful, and selfishly, I could talk to her all day long, but we're going to take a break. Taquan's giving me the eye. I'm so excited. Again, follow Fan and like her. Make sure that she's part of your life. These brief sentences, these hashtags that we live by can change your life and how you view yourself and all of those that are in your world. We'll be right back with more This Is It TV with Cheldin, Barlatt, Rumer after these brief messages.
Introducing Mainstream. We deliver blowouts, haircuts, makeup, manicures, massage, and more directly to your location at the tap of an app. You can also use Mainstream to book appointments at participating salons and spas. When you book with Mainstream, you have the freedom to browse your area to find the provider that fits your style and budget. Mainstream saves you precious time and money to focus on what matters most. Download Mainstream today and receive $20 off with the promo code MAINSTREAM20.
Everyone, I'm Cheldin, Barlatt, Rumer, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. Taquan. Again, he was giving me the eyes. Nikita and I could literally talk for hours at a time. I just find it so useful. You know what I mean? I think that youthful as well, but I think that the interesting thing about it is its simplicity, right? She's not giving you a complex roadmap on how to get happy or a complex roadmap on how to, like, you know, gain balance. It's really about the simplicity of everything and breaking everything down. And I think that we all need that for sure. So thank you so much for your patience in that, and I hope that you got as much out of it as I did. I think that she is wonderful. Don't forget to follow Fan and like her. She is wonderful and great. A few other things that we want to definitely touch on. We're going to jump right into events, Taquan, if that's okay with you. We're going to go into events. Summerfest Live, that's Saturday, July 21st from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Thanks to our folks over at upcomingevents.com. Thank you so much, Ray. Thank you so much, Dennis, for always supplying us with amazing upcoming events that we can share with our This Is It TV community. If you are interested in doing something fun this summer, Summerfest Live is for you. Again, it's Saturday, July 21st from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. We will be there. We hope all of you are there as well. Again, log on to upcomingevents.com for more information on all things great and all things fun within this area and beyond about upcoming events that we are having. Talk about events that we are having. We are teaming up with Peach, discoverpeach.com. Samantha's going to send you a link to this amazing clothing line that we have now ambassadors of. We are so excited about this event that we are hosting here at the Nichols Building on Tuesday, July 31st from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Go online for more details. It's about strengthening your inner self, which is wonderful, and feeling good on the outside as much as you're feeling good on the inside. It's going to be an interactive workshop as well as a shopping event. I mean, who could ask for anything more? Signature cocktails, some light bites. It's going to be a wonderful event. We hope that you all can join us. Again, Samantha Peck is going to send out the invitation within the comments below. Again, it's the Peach Thrive event in conjunction with This Is It TV. It's going to be on Tuesday, July 31st from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So fun. We are always looking for folks to join us here at the Nichols Building. The Nichols Building is now open. It is a co-working space located here in the heart of Main Street in Manayunk. In addition to general co-working that provides coffee and snacks and just great collaboration with the community, there's also an opportunity for you to host events. Whether it's 10 people or 200 people, this is your ideal event destination, the Nichols Building. Log on to thenicholsbuilding.com for more information. And even if you don't want to have an event or if you don't want to be a co-worker, we want you to join us here on This Is It TV. We want you to follow, fan, and like us at This Is It TV, or send us an email at tv@i-gcreative.com to learn how you can be a guest on our show. Do you have a story to tell? Do you have a product or service that you'd like to promote, or an event you'd like for our This Is It TV community to attend? If so, let us know in the comments below, or send us a direct message or email at tv@i-gcreative.com. Well, that's all that we have for you today. Taquan, today was good, right? Just need a little Nikita in your life just to create that balance. Boldly, that is. Just make sure that all of you follow, fan, and like her. She is wonderful. I'm going to actually steal her for a couple more minutes because I just need a little bit more of that. If all of you could do us the favor of joining us tomorrow as we broadcast live each and every day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern from One Nickel Co-working here at the Nichols Building in the heart of Main Street in Manayunk, right next door to Center City and right around the corner from Barlatt. We are your daily dose of lifestyle news as we celebrate the entrepreneurial spirit. From all of us here at This Is It TV, I'm Cheldin Barlatt Rumer, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care.